Am I the a-hole for shouting at my sister while she's on her deathbed? My 26 female sister Nancy, 39 female, and I have had a strained relationship for as long as I can remember. For a bit of background, Nancy's parents were my late aunt and uncle, who passed away in a car accident when she was 6, and my parents adopted her. Growing up, I realized that she got more love and care than I did, but I just wrote it off because I didn't want to blame her for her trauma or how she handles triggers. When I was a teen, I got tired of her always needing to trump my accomplishments or be the center of attention. I finished high school when I was 16, and after I received my matric results, my parents planned a big party for me. But the week before, Nancy fell down a flight of stairs, and my party had to be canceled. As I was sitting in the waiting room with my parents, I had an epiphany and realized that a lot of her accidents coincidentally happened when something big was planned for me. A month before my 21st birthday, which was going to be spent on a cruise, she started having dizzy spells, and a few days before, she fell off the roof as she was trying to patch a few leaks. Rightfully, I was upset, and my parents lashed out at me for being selfish when my sister got injured trying to do something to help them. When I graduated my MBA at 22, she got very sick after eating shellfish, which everyone knows she's deathly allergic to. The day after my partner proposed, she got into an accident while driving on a sunny day, with great road conditions, saying that she didn't see a light pole or something. She threw me a surprise engagement party, and guess who accidentally ate prawns and was rushed to the hospital halfway through the party? To avoid any drama at my wedding, my partner and I decided to elope with a few friends. And it was the first time something was all about me, for once. My parents were bitter about not being part of wedding celebrations, so we planned a reception type thing for friends and family on our second anniversary. My dad will walk me down the aisle, and my mom will do the something old thing, etc. They had been buzzing with excitement and looking forward to the wedding. The event is this coming weekend, and guests have already started flying in, as they want to celebrate the whole week and treat it as a reunion of sorts. But like every other big moment of my life, I am writing this post sitting in a hospital waiting room because Nancy apparently had a big psychotic break because her boyfriend dumped her in February. So there is a psychiatrist admitting her for 21 days as he believes she's a danger to herself. And now my parents are trying to talk me into postponing because it would be heartless of me to celebrate while my sister is cuffed to a bed for the next 3 weeks. I had a meltdown of my own and told my sister that if she wanted to go to heaven that desperately, could she not have done it when we were younger so I could be spared from all her drama? And now there's a handful of family members who are calling me a cruel bridezilla for taking my stress out on my sister when she's so unwell. I told all of them that I would be proceeding with the wedding, as a lot of time and money had already gone into it, and they're welcome to mope around the hospital to support my sister. They told me that I was unfair for making them have to choose between a party and my sister, who is on her deathbed. Edited to Wedd. I know she isn't in her deathbed. Any sane person reading this post knows she's not on her deathbed. But to my family, this is a life or death situation, because only God knows what they'll do to her in there. And they're especially incensed by the very limited visitation because they're convinced the psychiatrist is doing it so she can get pumped full of medication, and so the hospital can make money, yada yada yada. Now for the top comments. Your sister is a drama queen, and your parents are her flying monkey attendants. Deathbed? She's on a psychiatric hold, which is hardly a deathbed. Please go no contact with these people. Who knows what antics she will pull when you are in labor trying to deliver your first child. Not the a-hole. Oh, I gave birth in March last year, and that time, she fainted in the delivery room. And I got a smack from my dad for allowing her to see something so gruesome when I know she's fragile. Just typing that out made me laugh a bit, because it's just so unfathomable. Your dad blamed you for giving birth and traumatizing your adult sister? OMG. I swear. I had initially asked them not to be at a hospital, but they showed up, and I was honestly too tired to deal with the fallout, so I let them keep me company. When I was pushing, she first started gagging at my nurse, God bless her soul, told her to leave the room. And she fainted outside and all hell broke loose because I apparently did that on purpose. The nurse kicked all of them out and things went smoothly, but my son's birth will forever be tainted by that mess. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she cried rape on my fiancé? This might be long, but I apologize. My sister Ellie has issues. Not sure which issues, as she's never seen a doctor or been diagnosed. But my sister has always had a need to be the center of attention. When she was in middle school, she harmed herself to look like she got jumped at school. Freshman year of high school, she put herself in the hospital for stabbing herself in the arm several times with scissors because my parents grounded her. These are just some of the many psychotic things my sister has done. Well, in junior year, my sister cried on this guy John. We believed her. Then when my dad showed up at John's house and the police were called, my sister admitted she was lying, admitted she had a big crush on John and he rejected her. 7 years later, John and I worked together. We fell in love and we had our first child 6 months ago, and our wedding is scheduled for December. As our date approached, my sister reached out and told me she still didn't get her invite. I told her I wasn't comfortable having her at my wedding. We don't see her much because of what she did. She said that was unfair and she couldn't miss her sister's wedding. And I said that was perfectly fair, especially since her past with John. She said that wasn't fair of me to hold that over her head since it was so many years ago and that she was family and she deserved to go. I told her that wouldn't be happening and said I was sorry. She then called my mom, who called me, trying to persuade me to let my sister go because it's not her fault she has issues. I refused. My sister then called me hysterically, accusing me of stealing the life she always wanted and saying how sorry she was and begging me to go. I hung up. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, but I think you will need security at your wedding to deal with your sister when she shows up. Because the last thing you want is her showing up and causing a scene, which from the sounds of it is something she will do. Let your mother know if she keeps up her BS. She may not have any contact with any future children that you have. Sorry about what has gone on, but you need to stand your ground. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Congrats on your forthcoming wedding. She has only met my daughter once already, which was the only time I've seen her in 6 months. Sounds like you already went low contact. Good on ya. Not the a-hole. Stealing the life she always wanted. Yeah, your sister will cause a scene at your wedding. She'll wear a white dress, she'll object, she'll tell everyone elaborate stories about how the groom is secretly in love with her. She'll give an inappropriate speech. She'll tear off her shirt and dance on the tables. Absolutely perfectly not the a-hole. Not only the lies she told about your fiancé, but God only knows what kind of drama she would cause. Stand firm in your decision. Did your parents never get her proper treatment over the years or what? No, they never did. My sister has never been evaluated. My sister had been in the hospital 5 times throughout high school for harming herself, and the hospital had child services come out. And they tried to persuade my parents to have her evaluated, in which my parents agreed but they never did. Even as an adult, she's acted out aggressively to herself. Next story. Am I the a-hole for uninviting my partner's family from our wedding? My partner and I recently became engaged. We plan on having about 40 guests, mostly from his side, as I only have one living relative whereas it comes from a large family. I set up a wedding website last night, and on it I gave our registry with a link to our wish list from an online store for inspiration. The wish list had a whole bunch of household items, kettles, toasters, etc., ranging in price with all of them coming in at under $50. The cheapest item on it was a set of ceramic measuring spoons at $15. The most expensive was a porcelain dinner set at $49. When I asked my partner to look through everything on a website, he told me that his extended family members won't be expecting to give us any gifts at our wedding. He said that at most, we might get a bottle of wine from somebody. I don't even drink alcohol, but that we would not get anything from his aunts, uncles, cousins, etc. So doing a registry is a bit much, given nobody's going to look at it. I was absolutely shocked. I think it is the height of bad manners to attend a party, whether it's a wedding or a birthday or whatnot, and not bring a gift of some sort. I cannot imagine going to an event someone has organized for me, eating a 3-course meal they've paid for, dancing to a DJ they've paid for, drinking the drinks they've paid for, and not even bothering to buy them a $15 kettle. I think it's extremely entitled and lacking in any class. I know that if someone came to the wedding and did not give a gift, I would find it deeply disrespectful, and it would sour the whole event for me. So I told him if any of his relatives cannot be bothered to bring a gift to the wedding, then I would rather they not attend at all. I told him I'm not happy paying to entertain someone who can't even show the good manners to offer a token thank you on the day. For me, it's not about the gifts. We already have a perfectly fine toaster, etc. It's about the principle of showing thanks for time, money, effort, etc. spent on giving everyone a good time. My partner thinks I am overreacting and acting like a diva bride. that it is perfectly fine for his relatives to give us nothing on our wedding day, and that I need to stop getting my ideas on what weddings look like from social media. To be clear, his relatives are all local, so there are no associated costs like travel, accommodation, etc. to attending the wedding. They have a spare couple of dollars to buy a measuring jug or whatever. Our wedding, while small, will see all guests receive a free 3-course meal, drinks, disco, and ride home at the end of the night. So, they will all be fully looked after. Am I the a-hole for telling my partner that if his extended family have no intention of giving us a gift at our wedding, then I would rather they don't attend? You're the a-hole. You're not spending that money on them, you're spending it on your wedding. Are you getting married for the gifts, or for the man you have chosen to spend the rest of your life with? How do you think it will affect future relationships with his family if you pull this entitled stunt literally right out of the gates of the marriage? You have chosen this to be your hill, and have fear that you will not make it out. Miss Manners and other advice columnists would agree that you're the a-hole. You are celebrating your union, not collecting entrance fee. It may be disappointing should people choose not to give a token gift, but please don't keep score and turn vindictive. Disinviting them sours all relationships moving forward. No one is actively plotting to disrespect you. So put on a happy face in what should be one of the happiest days of your life. Be generous of spirit and let it go. Why don't you just not have a wedding and elope? Don't waste your money for others to have a good time. If they want to celebrate your marriage, then they can hold a party. If not, just celebrate with your fiancé. But then she wouldn't get any gifts at all. But if she really doesn't care about that like she said in her post, then it shouldn't be an issue. Why would anyone pay for a wedding and catering and a reception place and a DJ and a photographer and a priest and everything, and not bring a gift for the newlyweds? There's no way I'd pay for all that stuff to be taken advantage of. I originally wanted to go to a registry with just my partner, our parents and his siblings, nobody else. Then maybe go for a quiet dinner at our favorite restaurant. It's my partner who wants us to have a big, by comparison, formal wedding with extended family members and so on. Which, I suppose, is part of why I feel so slighted by them not even bothering to give a thank you card. But you don't care if your fiancé feels slighted by you and inviting all his family based on something that hasn't happened yet? This is clearly important to him, but you're willing to uninvite them because they don't meet your expectations? That would irreparably harm their relationship and would be super selfish. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit during brother-in-law's wedding? Me 32 female, husband 34 male. 2 weeks before our 2018 wedding, brother-in-law got drunk during hubby's stag do. Brother-in-law and 2 cousins shared group texts with everyone at a party about me, which were extremely offensive, resulting in an argument between husband and brother-in-law. No one ever apologized. In-laws covered for those involved, said I overreacted. It was just British humor. These comments mocked my appearance, non-Brit accent, family and health issues. I basically ignored everyone from that point on, always polite but distant, and made no attempts at friendship. At Christmas, we announced our pregnancy and due date of August. At the same time, brother-in-law/future sister-in-law announced their wedding date and venue for October 2023. The location is 2 hours from our house. A few days later, mother-in-law asks if I had looked at venue online, which I had. The venue caters to kid-free events. I said to mother-in-law that it looks lovely, but I was concerned about kid-free element and distance from our house since weddings are an all-day thing. Mother-in-law says, "Oh, they're not having a kid-free wedding." We got an invitation in the mail. It's kid-free, which is okay with us. With the invitation was a note which read, "At request of mother-in-law/father-in-law, they have reserved a guest room at the venue for us the night of wedding." We politely replied to RSVP saying we wouldn't be attending because we couldn't leave our baby overnight as we have no one we feel comfortable leaving him with. He'll only be 7 weeks. I have no family in the UK. Hubby's family will be at wedding, and hubby said he won't go if baby and I aren't going. Next day, mother-in-law/father-in-law call upset we aren't attending and say I could spend a day in the room during the wedding because it would look bad if hubby's not there. Hubby told them that was ridiculous to expect me to spend a day in a hotel room with my infant. My father-in-law argued that several cousins had small children and were still attending, but we stood firm. 1 week later, father-in-law announces that a cousin's friend has agreed to watch all the family's kids. 6 kids under 4-year-old, plus our 7-year-old in our home during wedding, since it's closest to venue. We politely declined and explained I just had a C-section 8 days ago, I'm also not leaving my then-be 7-week-old overnight with one stranger and a group of 6 kids. We thought that was the end of it, but 3 days ago got a message from one of the cousins asking to call about wedding. I showed it to hubby, and we forgot about it until yesterday. Cousin's wife called wanting to know what items she should bring for her daughter. Turns out, father-in-law and brother-in-law told family that we aren't attending to keep all the cousins' children. I was mad and told her that was not true. I wasn't running an overnight drop-in service for a bunch of people who didn't even like me. But now in-laws are saying my refusal is embarrassing and makes them and brother-in-law look bad. Brother-in-law is called repeatedly. Several group text participants have left messages to chat. My husband and some family is on our side, but others feel like I'm being petty and holding a grudge to ruin brother-in-law's wedding. So am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, but be prepared they will leave their kids at your doorstep the day of. Don't be home. Plan a trip with your baby and husband. Your husband is doing the only thing that he should do, and that's not going to that wedding. Especially since his family keep disrespecting you, his wife. The sheer audacity. This is genius. Overnight at a hotel nearby and put your phones on Do Not Disturb. Make sure you leave 2 days before the wedding or more. They will try to corner you into accepting. Screw them. Just park the cars down the street and close the blinds so they think you are not home. They just expect you to take care of 6 other kids when you have a new baby and have recently had surgery. They didn't even ask. Not the a-hole. That's why I was so mad. Adding to that, 3 of the 6 kids I've never even seen because they live 8 hours away and only met the parents one time, so it feels really awkward. And 6 little kids bringing who knows what germs from daycare, etc. to your home with your 7-week-old baby.